Think about the most likable person you've ever met. The one who made you feel seen the moment they spoke to you. The one everyone wanted to be near. Now consider this. Studies on cult leaders, con artists, and high-functioning sociopaths consistently find the same result. Their victims describe them using one word more than any other. Charismatic. Not threatening, not suspicious. Charismatic. The most dangerous person in any room is almost never the one who makes you uncomfortable. It's the one who makes you feel the most at ease. So here's the question you need to sit with. How do you know the difference between someone who genuinely draws people in and someone who has learned to simulate that feeling on purpose? Welcome to TheMindShadow. This channel exists for one reason: to show you what most people are never taught about human behavior. Charisma is usually sold to you as a gift, something you either have or you don't. A warm, positive force. But charisma is a tool. And like any tool, it can build something, or it can be used to take something apart. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how dark charisma is engineered, what it does to your brain, and how it's been used against people throughout history and right now in your daily life. This isn't about becoming paranoid. It's about becoming precise. There's a difference between being open and being unguarded. Knowing that difference may be the most valuable thing you learn this year. Let's start with what dark charisma actually is, because it's not what most people think. It isn't charm. Charm is surface level. It fades. Dark charisma operates at a deeper register. It creates a feeling of significance in the person it's directed at. And that feeling is not accidental. It is constructed. Jim Jones built Jonestown with it. Before the tragedy, before the horror, his followers described him as the most present person they had ever encountered. He remembered names. He mirrored posture. He made each person feel like the most important individual in the room. That wasn't a spiritual gift. It was a behavioral system. Jones had studied influence. He understood that human beings have a core need to feel understood, to feel chosen. He didn't just meet that need. He manufactured the illusion of meeting it at scale. Here is what's critical to understand. Dark charisma doesn't reveal itself through grand gestures. It reveals itself through precision. A well-timed compliment. A pause before answering that makes you feel like your words were truly considered. Eye contact that holds just a second longer than normal. These are techniques, and when deployed intentionally by someone without genuine empathy, they function as a kind of psychological lockpicking. You don't feel broken into, you feel welcomed. That's the mechanism, and that's exactly what makes it so effective. Now let's go deeper, because the reason dark charisma works isn't a weakness in your character, it's a feature of your neuroscience. When you encounter a highly charismatic person, your brain does something specific. It releases oxytocin, the same bonding chemical triggered by physical touch and deep trust. This is called the charisma halo effect. Your brain essentially begins to build a case for why this person is safe, credible, and worth following. And it does this before your rational mind has had a chance to evaluate the evidence. Here's where it gets precise. Research from the University of Toronto found that people exposed to charismatic individuals showed measurably reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex. That's your critical thinking center. The part of your brain responsible for skepticism, risk assessment, and pattern recognition. A charismatic presence literally quiets your internal alarm system. Psychologists call this phenomenon social anesthesia. You're not unconscious, You're not stupid. Your brain has simply prioritized the warmth of connection over the discipline of evaluation. Now layer on top of that something called narrative transport. When a charismatic person tells you a story, especially one that mirrors your own struggles, your brain stops being an observer and starts being a participant. You lose the psychological distance required for judgment. You are inside the story. That's not an accident. The most skilled dark charisma practitioners know exactly how to use personal disclosure and emotional resonance to pull you into a state where critical thinking becomes almost impossible. They share just enough vulnerability to make you feel safe, just enough certainty to make you feel led. So how is this actually deployed against you, and what are the real-world signs you need to recognize? The first pattern is what's called idealization cycling. A dark charisma practitioner doesn't just make you feel good in the moment, they make you feel exceptional early on, almost unrealistically seen. Compliments that feel almost too specific, attention that feels almost too intense. This is called love bombing in clinical psychology, and it isn't limited to romantic relationships. It shows up in business, in mentorship, in friendship. The point is simple. If someone makes you feel chosen before they truly know you, they're not seeing you, they're positioning you. The second pattern is controlled scarcity. Once they have your attention, they begin to withdraw it selectively. The warmth becomes inconsistent. The validation becomes intermittent. And here's the dark genius in that. Intermittent reinforcement is the most psychologically addictive reward schedule known to behavioral science. More powerful than consistent reward. More powerful than consistent rejection. Your brain begins to work for the approval it once received freely. You become invested in proving your worth to someone who engineered that dynamic deliberately. The third pattern is mirroring with an agenda. Everyone mirrors to some degree. It's a natural empathy response, but dark charisma practitioners use mirroring as a mapping tool. They reflect your values, your language, your pain points back to you, not to connect, but to locate leverage. They're learning what you care about most, so that when the moment comes, they know exactly what to offer and exactly what to threaten. These three patterns together form a system, and once you see the system, you cannot unsee it. Now here's the part most people miss. The part that reframes everything. When you first encounter dark charisma, the warmth, the attention, the feeling of being truly seen, it feels like something external, something being done to you. But the revelation is this: dark charisma doesn't create something foreign inside you. It finds something already there, the need to feel significant, the desire to be chosen, the hope that someone finally understands you. These are not flaws, they are deeply human. But they are also the exact entry points, the open doors. This means that your vulnerability to dark charisma is directly proportional to how much of those needs go unmet in your daily life. A man who is secure in his identity, who has genuine community, who does not hunger for external validation, is significantly harder to manipulate through charisma. Not impossible, but significantly harder. The antidote isn't suspicion. It's fullness. A full cup doesn't rush to be filled by whoever offers. And the final layer of this, some of the greatest leaders, communicators, and builders in history have possessed all the same traits we've described. The difference isn't the tool, it's the intention behind it. Charisma pointed toward service creates movements. Charisma pointed toward extraction creates victims. Learning to read the difference is not paranoia, it is precision. And precision protects you. You now see something most people will go their entire lives without seeing. Not because they're not intelligent, but because no one ever showed them where to look. If this shifted something in the way you understand the people around you, drop a comment below. Tell me who you thought of while watching this. If you're not subscribed yet, now is the time. Every week, this channel goes deeper into the psychology most people aren't supposed to understand. The like button costs you nothing. The knowledge compounds. Stay sharp, stay aware. I'll see you in the shadows.